Okay, so let's make a new part now. Create, and I'm going to do a sketch on this plane. I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to start from this point, and I'm going to use sketching here. I'm going to just mainly use the snapping just with the mouse, and I'm going to go. So I'm going to imagine this is a kind of a duct, like an air conditioning duct or something like that. I'm going to go 10,000, which is 10,000 millimeters is 10 meters. Okay, and then I'm going to go another 10 meters, it's 10,000, 5,000, 5,000. So, and you can see I'm using snapping just to go to right angles all the time, and it's doing the rest for me really. It's putting in these perpendicular constraints for horizontals and the dimensions just by snapping with my mouse and typing in. So this one's going to be 15,000, 10,000, and I'm going to go back here to that line, and you can see we get our perpendicular to the line constraint. I'm just going to click there. I'm going to right click and I'm going to click OK. And there we are. Now I want to put a fillet on these corners because I don't want them dead sharp right angles like that. So I'm going to click fillet, and our fillet will be 750. Okay, so we don't press return there, it'll go off. We click our lines and we can see it gives us this fillet, and we're just going to keep doing it on every corner. There, so that's got them all. And then right click, OK. And then I'm going to finish that sketch. So what we've drawn here is this will be at the run of our ducting. Okay, so air conditioning duct or whatever it is, this will be how it runs. And this might be something you take off a floor plan. So if you had a 2D floor plan, it would probably show the center line of a duct, and that's all we're following here. So this is drawn on a plan view and we're just following that center line, okay? We're then going to do another 2D sketch, and I'm going to choose this plane here. And I'm going to select this rectangle with the center point. I'm going to click what I know is the center. And our ducting, I'm going to make this 500 by, so 500 tab 500. There. And then finish sketch. Okay. So what I've just drawn there is a cross section of our ducting. Okay, and this could be pipe, conduit, or anything, but for now I'm just pretending this is air conditioning ducting. And we would have been given a center line on a 2D plan and a profile, a section of what it looks like, 500 by 500 square. So all we need to do now is click on this sweep command. And it's guessed, it's only found one closed sketch. So there are two sketches on this drawing, but for profile, Inventor will look for a closed sketch, meaning the ends aren't open. You can see our pipe route here, the ends are open. So this couldn't really be a profile because it's got an edge missing here. It doesn't join up to itself, whereas our rectangle did. So it's guessed correctly in this case that this is our profile, but you could have clicked it yourself. Okay. Now it's asking for the path, which it hasn't attempted to guess. So we're going to click that, and there you go. It's basically, if we select, you can preview, you can see on the preview what it's going to do, which is exactly what we wanted. I just want to show you these other options. You can see the way it follows a path is, in this case, it's what we wanted. It takes this section, and as you go around the corner, it kind of turns the section correctly. If we chose this one, it wouldn't work at all, because it's trying to take this section and it would kind of move it sideways here, because it would always keep it this section would always face the same way but move. If you can see what it's doing there, that wouldn't make sense. This one, you can actually choose, as well as selecting the center line, you can choose a guide rail, so it might be it does all sorts of movements apart from this center line. It's something that you rarely use. Okay, but it's just, if you wanted, maybe it comes off the center line here and narrows a bit or something, you can make it do. You can put in some guides a bit like lofts and make it bulge out, that kind of thing. But generally, I think I only ever really use this one, because otherwise there would probably be different ways of drawing which would be more suitable. So this, for sweep command, I only really use that command there. You can twist it, so you can see it's over the length of here, it's twisted 45 degrees, and you can see it twisting. So you can create all sorts of funny shapes like that. You can have it tapering so it gets larger or it gets narrower. But again, for the sweep command, for myself, I usually just leave these as they are and use it in this sense, because I would use it for doing piping or that kind of thing. And my preference, if I did want something to be getting gradually larger or smaller, I would generally use lofts, different loft sections, which will make sense to you now. Like we did before, we had our duct getting larger. I would generally do it that way with lofts, just because it gives you a bit more control. But this is the sweep command. If we click OK, you can see, there we have it. Okay, and you don't just need to use it. It's easy to think of a sweep command as being something used for ducting and piping, that kind of thing, but you can use it just to create an edge. If you've drawn a complex shape, for instance, and you want to put like this kind of upstand, imagine this was a roof of a building, you had this upstand, you could use extrude, or you could use a sweep, do it that way. So yeah, there's all sorts of things you can use it for. If it was a duct, you would want to obviously shell it out with a thickness, and then you end up with this duct. Like that, bit or conduit. But yeah, that's the sweep command. It's one of those commands, when you do need it, you really do need it, and it comes in so handy. Not something I use all the time, I must admit, but it's good to know it exists, it's good to know it's there. And depending what industry you're in, if you do a lot of piping and conduit, that kind of thing, there is some tools in Inventor, the piping tools, which take this even further. So that's something to look at later. But this for basic tubing and that kind of thing, yeah, that's a sweep command.